Toot, 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 toot. What do we have today? TerraForm Power Inc., guys. That is on the NASDAQ, TERP. Taking a break from reviewing cannabis stocks, just to take a step back, let that crazy volatility sink in, more of those charts, and see where the dust settles. TerraForm Power, guys, I got an alert for that. Check out the monthly candle chart. It looks like a 2014 IPO. Up and down. Sideways move for a few years. And that's where we are today, guys. Consolidation. Here's my monthly defined support. And here is where it gets interesting. Get a straight line. Straight, Patrick. And straight or straighter. Here we go. Here's, okay, there's a whole bunch of things here. Monthly defined breakout in progress right now. What's that implied measure move? Measure move, add it to breakout line. So a couple of things here. My target, if I have a close above 1170, my target's 1320. And then my brain goes into a target consideration mode to my little tips to enhance my chances of reaching my possible targets on these measure moves. And you see here, previous top, previous support, breakdown now becomes a resistance, beginning of a resistance right here, what I call a wall, and we're right below it. So you're sure if ever the price gets here, you're going to exit right before that you run into that wall. And the wall is the beginning of a resistance zone all the way up to the natural resistance, these previous highs right here. So that's pretty cool for that. So I like the geometry, the targets with as fast as it went down. You don't have any stepping stones. You don't have any resistance, monthly defined resistance along the way, or just a little bit. So I like those type of targets, guys. So that's good. 12-month moving average is still declining. And but when the price action of a stock is above the 12-month moving average, you don't want to be shorting anymore. You're more into a stage 3. So what's going to happen now, we're going to jot down into the weekly, and we're going to see if we have signs when we zoom in on that small time frame, give us signs of how the turnaround is starting to shape up, guys. Here's my monthly defined breakout line. And you see all these candles above that close, these weekly candles, that is all noise. So if you would have used weekly defined breakout line and you didn't take into account that there's monthly defined resistance or breakout lines, then these would have given you whipsaws. Oh, it's breaking out on the weekly. No, back in. The price action at the end of the month sucks back in. What's going to be great is if, see, now it's breaking on the weekly. If 2 weeks later we get to coincide that weekly breakout with the monthly, then we have harmony within those using multi-time frame analysis, guys. So this is kind of embryonic. I'm looking for volume candles, twice the average of the previous 4 weeks. Maybe this one a little bit. Breakout. Price action starting to go above the 3-week average. Slowing down its decline. Flattening it out. And the more price action you have above it, the more you're going to start inclining that 30-week average. There's a couple of other things. You're still underperforming the SPX, and that is not where you want to be, but it's going upwards. So eventually, what's going to be very positive is if we go from negative to positive territory above the zero line. that's gonna turn green. The price action's above the 30-week average already. The 30-week average is gonna be inclining, and that's gonna be very stage 2 like, bullish like. So these type of things I'm gonna be looking for. And the last but not least, Ichimoku cloud defined resistance. Like if you're below that cloud, I've seen a lot too often that that cloud sucks you back in. Have some price action here. Maybe a little bit. No. You're hitting the resistance, comes back in. And then maybe on the 2nd or 3rd week. I'd like the price action to come back here, maybe bounce back. See where off maybe that monthly defined breakout line, or maybe a little lower here. See how those it goes, and after that, secondary thrust off the bounce here, off the 30-week moving average, with decreasing volume on the way down. Oh, and increasing volume on that final candle. So if the end of September's candle could have a crazy candle like this on that week, closing above the Ichimoku cloud defined resistance, above the monthly defined resistance, check, check, check. SPX crossing over the 0 line, check. All those evidence, all those clues to make sure that you get a better, higher confidence index in the probabilities of that stock really launching to a stage 2, having pullbacks. There will be just pullbacks and not reversals, and to maximize your chance of having a successful trade and not getting whipsawed straight off the bat. So TerraForm is looking pretty sweet. Let's do a forest to trees approach. Utilities, electric utilities. Let's go check out sectors. Utilities. Stage 2 above Ichimoku cloud. Still that sector underperforming the SPX. Not super duper, but. And on the 12-month, you're above the 12-month moving average. Stage 3 like on the 12-month. So that's, I would have rathered it to be this. See how the 12-month moving average is flat, but you're still above it. So this is let's call this a push. So push on the monthly, stage 2 on the weekly for the sector. Now let's dive in the industry. Electric utilities, and that chart looks pretty much like the utilities one. Stage 2 on the weekly, still underperforming the SPX, so you wouldn't get in right there. Monthly, same thing, looks pretty much like the utilities sector. Probably composed mostly of the same stocks. 12-month average starting to barely flatten out. So kind of neutral there, guys. So I guess that's all in line with how TerraForm Power is going to figure it out. So whenever I believe that all these events are going to simultaneously explode or confirm at the same time. So it's just a question of waiting. We're a little ahead of the curve here for TerraForm, but it's looking good. It's looking constructive. Right now I gave you all the reasons not to enter, and when all these reasons are gone, then you can say, hey, is it time, Pat? I guess so. All right. See ya.